When my parents divorced, Dad told me his love for me would never change. No matter what, I believed him. After the college entrance exams, I achieved my goal of becoming the top scorer, but the admission notice never arrived. After discovering the truth, I suddenly understood. It turned out that this was how much my father loved me. Alright, then I'll love you once, the way you loved me. The day of checking the college entrance exam results, I stared blankly at the empty score column on the computer screen. It was Mom who spotted it first. With trembling hands, she pointed at the words on the screen, ranked in the top 20 of the province. I hugged Mom tightly and burst into tears. The crying held joy, satisfaction, and gratitude toward my mother for taking care of me all by herself. In the following days, my mother was immersed in happiness. She walked with her back straight, her face filled with pride. The results were hidden for 5 days. On the 6th morning, the principal called. Cheng Wn. You've brought great honor to our school, Principal. Congratulations, you are the top science student in our province. His hearty laughter left me feeling dizzy. After hanging up the phone, I turned on the computer and entered my exam admission number. The total score was 723. Mom hugged me, crying and laughing at the same time. I gently patted her back, letting her release all her emotions in my arms. She had endured too much hardship over these years. When I was 12 years old, my father came clean to my mother. He had another family outside of ours. Naturally, my mother couldn't tolerate it and divorced him. From then on, she worked while taking care of me. All these years, she endured so much hardship and faced countless scornful looks. Only I, as her daughter, truly knew now. With a score of 723 and the title of top scorer in the college entrance exam, this is my way of repaying her years of silent dedication. After news spread that I was the top scorer in the college entrance exam, our doorstep was nearly worn out from all the visitors. Neighbors and Mom's colleagues came to offer their congratulations one after another. Some brought their children to seek advice, while others wanted to buy the study materials at a high price. During those days, Mom's face was always radiant with smiles. She walked with her back straight and her head held high. After submitting my college preferences, my mom kept nagging me to hurry up and apply for a job transfer. It would be best if it could be done before I report to school. That way, she could come with me. I looked at my mom with a grin in my mind. I began to dream of a bright future. Day by day passed, and my classmates around me started receiving their acceptance letters one after another. But mine never arrived. At first, I could still keep my composure. Later, everyone except me received their admission letters. I was completely panicked. During those days, I had to run to the school several times a day, but the news I got was always the same. It hasn't arrived yet. Just wait a little longer. I went to see the principal and the homeroom teacher. They either refused to see me or gave me perfunctory responses, telling me to wait. But how could I not be anxious too? I returned home dejected. I comforted myself, saying I'd wait one more day. If it doesn't arrive by tomorrow, I'll call the university admissions office. Although I didn't know if it would help, I wanted to try. In the evening, when Mom came home, her face was pale. Her eyes, looking at me, were filled with concern. Xiaoan, have you received your admission notice yet? I struggled to shake my head. I went to school today and they said it hasn't arrived yet. They told me to wait a little longer. Mom seemed to have all her strength drained, collapsing onto the floor. Xiaoan, today I passed by the International Grand Hotel. I saw your dad hosting a celebration banquet for Cheng Xinna's college admission. I heard she got into Qing University. You said, my mother didn't finish her sentence, but I understood what she meant. She suspected that Cheng Xinna had taken my place as the top scorer in the college entrance exam. Though it sounds unbelievable, considering my father's position makes it plausible. A wave of immense panic instantly overwhelmed me. Cheng Xinna's academic performance had always been poor. During middle school, her grades were in the lower middle range of her class. Even after a year of remedial classes in 9th grade, she still didn't get into a key high school. Later, it was my dad who pulled some strings to get her into an international school. It's not that I look down on international schools, nor can we rule out the possibility that Cheng Xinna suddenly had a breakthrough in high school. But her getting into Qing University was an impossible scenario. Watching my mother slump lifelessly on the ground, I forced myself to calm down. I turned on the computer and searched for information about this year's top scorer in Hubei Province's college entrance exam. The web page refreshed slowly, bit by bit. The name was still Cheng Wn. But the photo had changed. The girl in the photo has a wispy fringe, peach blossom eyes, a delicate nose, and a slightly upturned mouth that carries an indescribable air of smugness. After clearly seeing the photo, a bone-chilling coldness washed over me. It was Cheng Xina. Looking further down, the graduation school had changed from Hubei No. 1 High School to Hubei International High School. Mom was right. I was indeed replaced by my father's illegitimate daughter. A deep, throbbing pain welled up inside me, like needles pricking, like a knife carving. Tears welled up uncontrollably, streaming down my cheeks and dripping onto my hands cold. So this is the father who kept saying he loved me. This is the father who told me to walk boldly forward, promising to always support me from behind. I finally understood the pain of being betrayed by the closest person. Mom burst into tears, crying out, "Cheng Qingshan, you heartless monster. How could you do this to your own daughter? No, I'm going to find that beast and fight him to the death." I wiped my tears haphazardly and hugged Mom tightly. "Mom, don't act impulsively. Let's get the facts straight first." 3 Auntie, and Uncle rushed over upon hearing the news. After listening to Mom's account, Uncle completely lost his temper. "That bastard Cheng Qingshan. How dare he treat Xiaowan like this? Does he have no bottom line? No, we must call the police immediately. If the police can't handle it, I'll report him to the provincial authorities." Auntie was also furious. "Find the media, expose him. I simply don't believe that, faced with such overwhelming public opinion, this Education Bureau director can still hold his position securely." Everyone was chattering away, offering suggestions. "There's only one central idea. Make the situation as big as possible, preferably enough to land Cheng Qingshan behind bars." Mom nodded and took out her phone to call the police. I quickly stopped her. "Mom, don't rush. Let me think for a moment." Everyone turned their eyes toward me. Auntie pouted in dissatisfaction. "Xiaowan, at this point, you still want to protect him?" Mom also looked at me with confusion. "Daughter, are you afraid he'll retaliate against the two of us?" "Don't be afraid. Even if I have to risk my life, I'll fight for justice for you." I shook my head calmly. "Mom, this isn't the way to handle it. Reporting to the police now would take time for investigation and evidence collection. Contacting the media would also take time for this matter to gain traction. But now, what we lack most is time. Don't forget, there are only 2 weeks left until the registration deadline." Auntie, and Uncle silently lowered their heads. Mom grabbed my hand anxiously. "Then what do you suggest we do?" I patted her hand back. "Mom, don't worry, I really need to think this through carefully. Also, Cheng Qingshan can't go to jail." After hearing this, my mother finally understood, but now she was even more anxious. "Cheng Qingshan, that beast, how could he do such a thing?" I didn't say anything, lost in thought for a while. "Mom, I think I'll call the university admissions office tomorrow first, see what they have to say." Mom sighed, not holding much hope for this approach. After all, the university is unlikely to make a big fuss over a freshman who hasn't even enrolled. But besides that, there was no other way. I patted her back soothingly. "Mom, we have to trust the country, right?" Mom was just about to say something when my phone suddenly rang. After seeing the caller ID, a wave of blood surged to my head. I answered and turned on the speakerphone. Cheng Qingshan's voice came through the receiver. "Daughter, didn't you go traveling after the college entrance exams? If you're short on money, just tell your dad, I'll give it to you." Before I could speak, my mom excitedly snatched the phone away. "Cheng Qingshan, you beast, how could you bear to ruin our daughter?" There was a pause on the other end of the line, the voice tinged with displeasure. "Xu Fengji, what nonsense are you talking about? How could I possibly ruin our daughter?" my mother angrily demanded. "How dare you say that Cheng Shena got into Qing University not by replacing my daughter's grades? Are you saying you didn't do this?" There was a long silence on the other end of the phone before a heavy sigh came through. "Give the phone to your daughter." After taking the call, I spoke calmly. "Go ahead." Cheng Qingshan's voice carried a sense of helplessness. "Wana, you know that Shina isn't like you. She won't be able to get into a good school even if she goes abroad. Besides, I wouldn't feel at ease letting a girl go abroad alone. I curled my lips slightly, my heart turning cold just because he's uneasy. He can sacrifice me for the sake of his illegitimate daughter. Wanna, you're different. Your grades are so outstanding. Even with an extra year of study, you can still get into top universities like Tsinghua and Peking. So, my daughter, you must understand your father's difficulties. Both of you are my flesh and blood. How can I possibly choose between you sisters? Wanna, you've always been sensible since childhood. You wouldn't make things hard for your father, would you? Don't worry, I'll cover the cost of repeating the year. I interrupted. Dad, what if I want to study abroad? Cheng Qingshan paused. For a moment. Abroad, in principle, I agree, but you know, studying abroad is very expensive. I'll have to discuss it with Aunt Chen. But don't worry, Dad promises you right now, half of your overseas expenses, I'll cover. My heart felt as if gripped by a giant hand, making it hard to breathe. My head spun in waves. Is this what he meant? His love for me would never change. No matter what, I shouted hoarsely into the phone. Cheng Qingshan, aren't you afraid I'll sue you for doing this? Cheng Qingshan's tone turned stern. Wanna, how could you sue your own father? Why not? You let your illegitimate daughter impersonate me. Why shouldn't I sue you? Cheng Qingshan, if you don't return my grades to me, I will definitely sue you. Cheng Qingshan laughed, his laughter full of mockery. Wanna, you're still young and don't understand how this society operates. Since I have the ability to change Shinna's name and ID to yours, go ahead and sue me if you dare. However, if you dare to sue me, don't blame me for disregarding our father-daughter bond. The phone slipped from my hand. My mind went blank, my body turned ice-cold. Not a trace of warmth could be felt. It's not hatred, not anger, but a bone-chilling cold. So this is how it feels to be betrayed by the closest person, he clearly said. No matter when, a father's love for you will never change, he clearly said. Bravely move forward. Dad will always be your strongest support. Now how come it's turned into sacrificing me to fulfill his illegitimate daughter's needs? Because he was worried that Cheng Shinna might be in danger abroad, he let her take my place. But when I said I wanted to study abroad, he supported it, and even covered half of the expenses for going abroad. Is this a case of favoring both sides equally? How does he still have the nerve to call me his daughter? For a wave of warmth spread through my body. Mom's voice called out beside my ear. I snapped back to reality with empty eyes. I looked at Mom. She was holding me anxiously, shouting my name loudly. I closed my eyes in pain. At night, lying in bed, I tossed and turned. I remembered how, as a child, every time I ranked first in exams, my dad would take endless walks around the neighborhood, proudly boasting to everyone he met. I recalled the year I graduated from elementary school. When my dad divorced my mom, he firmly told me that no matter what happens between him and Mom, his love for me will never change. I remember during middle school, he would wait at the school gate, secretly slipping me money to keep for myself, telling me not to tell Mom. I remember the day I got into the prestigious high school. He happily took me out to celebrate. He solemnly promised me, encouraging me to bravely move forward, assuring me that he would always be my strongest support. I always thought that the bond between him and me as father and daughter would never change, but now, having been stabbed by his own hand, I finally understand. In this world, nothing remains unchanged. After all, he loves the daughter raised by his side a little more. I should actually thank him. It was his heartlessness that made me realize never to rely on others as a crutch. Since that's the case, I'll just rely on myself to reclaim what I've lost. When I woke up in the morning, Mom had already gone to work. With a nervous heart, I dialed the number of the university admissions office. Hello, how can I help you? The man's voice carried a stern and intimidating tone. Summoning my courage, I said, hello, Professor. I'm Cheng Wan, this year's top scorer in the college entrance examination from Hubei province. I'd like to ask why I haven't received the admission letter from your school. The person on the other end said to wait a moment. After quite a while, the serious voice came through again. Cheng Wan, our school did receive your application, but after the political review was completed, when we went to retrieve your file, we found it had already been taken by Qing University. We are currently verifying this matter. So the issuance of your admission notice will be temporarily delayed. My head was buzzing. Cheng Qingshan really went all out. He even forged my records. Teacher, I only filled in National University of Defense Technology for my early admission single-choice application. And I didn't include Qing University in my regular batch applications. My voice sounded a bit urgent. There was a long silence on the other end of the line before the response came. Cheng WN, please hold on. My heart was pounding uncontrollably. After a while, a kind voice came through the phone. Hello, Cheng WN. I am Jiang Yuanchao, the director of the admissions office. You can report any issues you have truthfully. I could no longer hold back my tears. I knew this might be my only chance of being admitted. I briefly explained to Director Jiang how I had been impersonated by my half-sister. Director Jiang listened quietly the entire time until I finished speaking. The sound of someone slapping the table came through the phone. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Classmate Cheng WN, rest assured, we will definitely handle this matter. You're absolutely right. You can always trust the country. Don't go out today. I'll send someone to Hubei province immediately. I kept thanking him. After hanging up, I patted my heart, which was about to leap out of my chest. I knew there was a turning point in this matter. I called my mom. She was very happy and said she would come back immediately to wait with me. The waiting time was particularly agonizing. In the afternoon, there was a knock at the door. I excitedly ran to open the door unexpectedly. Standing at the door were Chen Hongting and Cheng Shina. When she saw me, Cheng Shina curled her lips into a mocking smile. Oh, sister. Are you so happy to see me and Mom? I suppressed my smile and stared coldly at the mother and daughter pair. Chen Hongting paid no heed to my hostility, pulling Cheng Shina as she barged toward the house. I blocked them at the doorway. You're not welcome here. Chen Hongting looked me up and down provocatively. Cheng WN, how dare you treat me like this? All these years, I've kept you and your child in my thoughts. She called out to my mom over me. Sister, you know Shina got into Qing University, right? Qingshan even took time off work to take me and Shina on a trip. I thought since you and Cheng WN haven't traveled all these years, I'd invite you both to join us. After all, Shina getting into Qingda University is a joyous occasion. You should come and share in the happiness. My mother clutched her chest, her lips turning blue. I quickly walked over, rubbing her back to help her catch her breath. Chen Hongting took the opportunity to enter with Cheng Shina in tow. Mother and daughter surveyed the cramped one-bedroom apartment, their eyes filled with disdain. How can you two live in a doghouse like this? Who are you trying to fool by pretending to be poor? Didn't you get a fair share of assets when you divorced Qingshan back then? Cheng Shina tugged at Chen Hongting's sleeve. Mom, don't you remember, to fight for custody of this worthless burden, that old woman chose to leave with nothing back then? Chen Hongting patted her forehead, pretending to have just recalled it. Watching them play off each other, my mother gritted her teeth so hard they creaked. I whispered to comfort her, Mom, don't be angry, just watch them laugh. There will come a time when they can't even cry properly, when they kneel before you begging. Don't you dare soften your heart. As the words fell, crisp footsteps echoed from the stairwell, growing louder as they approached. 5. Chen Hongting raised her head and looked down at us with disdain. Don't be ungrateful, you too. Qingshan is still waiting at the airport. If it weren't for my daughter and I needing 2 bag carriers, do you think such a good opportunity would come your way? Cheng Shina covered her mouth, laughing uncontrollably. My mom was about to start scolding, but I stopped her. Chen Hongting, your daughter has already attended Qing University under my name. Why must you still be so aggressive? Chen Hongting raised her eyebrows smugly. What, you still don't accept it? I was utterly speechless. Why should I accept it? Am I just supposed to let myself be robbed? You're right. You deserve to be robbed. Cheng Qingshan, I will take from you your title of top scorer in the college entrance exams. I will take that too. You're just a useless mother and daughter, can't even keep what's yours. I didn't respond, just looked at her with pity. This idiot admitted it. That's all that matters. Sure enough, an authoritative voice came from behind her. What belongs to her, you can't take away. Chen Hongting and Cheng Shina turned around abruptly. Only then did they see 2 soldiers in military uniforms standing at the door. The elderly man speaking wore a stern expression, exuding authority without anger. Beside him stood a middle-aged officer, glaring at the two of them with evident hostility. Chen Hongting looked at the old man with a mocking gaze. "Who do you think you are? Don't think I'll be intimidated just because you're wearing a military uniform. Whether it can be snatched away isn't for you to decide." The old man expressionlessly glanced at Chen Hongting. "Oh, then let me tell you, in this matter, what I say indeed counts." Having said that, the old man paid no further attention to Chen Hongting, who was posturing aggressively. The middle-aged officer stepped forward and pushed the two women apart. The old man and I walked towards each other. "Are you Cheng Wn?" looking at the old man with gold all over his shoulders. I was so excited that I didn't know where to put my hands and feet just now. I deliberately provoked Chen Hongting to make her reveal the fact that Cheng Shina had impersonated someone else. I didn't expect that fool to actually fall for it. The old man must have heard Chen Hongting's words just now. "Yes, Chief, I'm Cheng Wn." The old man nodded kindly. "Don't call me Chief, and don't be so formal. We spoke on the phone this morning," the middle-aged officer beside me introduced. "This is the Vice President of our National University of Defense Technology, as well as the Director of this year's admissions office, General Jiang Yuanchao." My mother and I exchanged glances. Seeing hope in each other's eyes, my mother quickly pulled over a stool, wiping it repeatedly with her sleeve. "Leader, please have a seat." Principal Jiang and the middle-aged officer sat down. The middle-aged officer called out to stop my mother, who was about to go make tea and fetch some fruit. "No need to trouble yourself, comrade. We're here to solve the problem." After speaking, he glanced at Chen Hongting, who was on the phone. He whispered a few words to Principal Jiang. Principal Jiang nodded in agreement. The middle-aged officer stood up and walked to the window to make a phone call. Before long, the sound of hurried footsteps could be heard. Cheng Qingshan appeared at the door, panting heavily. Chen Hongting and Cheng Shina, who had been hiding quietly on the side without making a sound, saw him arrive. I immediately felt reassured. "Honey, it's that old man. He's the one who has the final say about our Shina's schooling." Cheng Qingshan frowned slightly, but when he clearly saw the full golden epaulets on Principal Jiang's shoulders, his expression instantly changed with a flattering smile on his face. He moved closer to Principal Jiang. "Hello, Chief, I am Cheng Qingshan, Director of the Jiangcheng Education Bureau." Principal Jiang acted as if he hadn't heard, not even sparing him a glance. Cheng Qingshan's smile faltered. "Sir, this is my family matter. It doesn't seem appropriate for you to interfere." Principal Jiang continued to ignore him. The officer beside him frowned, displeased as he stared at Cheng Qingshan. "We're here to seek justice for our student. There's nothing inappropriate about that." Cheng Qingshan stared blankly at the officer. After a moment, he finally snapped out of it. He looked at me in disbelief. "Cheng Wn, you applied to a military academy." I gave Cheng Qingshan a mocking glance. He turned to Principal Jiang and reported, "Principal Jiang, this is the person I mentioned on the phone, Cheng Qingshan, Director of the Jiangcheng City Education Bureau. The incident of my identity being impersonated was orchestrated by him." Principal Jiang let out an "oh" and glanced up at Cheng Qingshan. At this moment, Cheng Qingshan had lost all his earlier composure and stood there trembling uncontrollably. Seeing this, Chen Hongting stepped forward to support him. "Honey, what are you afraid of? They can't interfere with local affairs anyway." Cheng Qingshan glared angrily at Chen Hongting. "You idiot, what the hell do you know?" Chen Hongting was stunned by his scolding. Yes, he wasn't wrong. Chen Hongting was indeed utterly foolish. If she hadn't just voluntarily admitted that Cheng Shina had taken my place, Principal Jiang wouldn't take my word for it alone. Upon arrival, they would undoubtedly initiate an investigation and evidence collection process. It would inevitably take a long time that way. Cheng Qingshan would have the opportunity to interfere and prolong the process even further. Dragged Cheng Shina to Qingdao University for registration, dragged me until I missed the registration time for National University of Defense Technology. As long as it's dragged out, there's room for maneuver in this matter. After all, it's already a done deal, and even if we pursue it further, it's meaningless. Even if we pursue it to the end, Cheng Shina will be expelled, and Cheng Qingshan will be dealt with. For me, I'll still have to spend another year repeating my studies, but who can say for sure what will happen a year from now? But now, Chen Hongting has personally admitted the fact that Cheng Shina took my place. The entire investigation process was greatly simplified. Principal Jiang will no longer have any doubts about my words. As for Chen Hongting's belief that the military has no right to interfere in local affairs, it's utterly absurd. I didn't apply to an ordinary university, but to the National University of Defense Technology. It requires strict political review, file archiving, and reporting to the state. Cheng Qingshan used his connections to change Cheng Shina's name and ID card. Even the file was forged, but for all his calculations, he never expected that I would apply to military school. Actually, when I called the admissions office of the National University of Defense Technology yesterday, they were already investigating why my records had been taken by Qing University. After I explained the situation, it drew even more attention from the National University of Defense Technology. 7. Cheng Qingshan wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Chief, please let our Education Bureau handle this investigation, he pleaded. Rest assured, we will definitely give you a satisfactory explanation. My heart suddenly leaped into my throat, fearing Principal Jiang would nod in agreement. After all, Cheng Qingshan was the head of the Education Bureau. Principal Jiang had no reason to offend him over a student like me who hadn't even enrolled yet. My mother was also very nervous. He unconsciously tightened his grip on my hand. Principal Jiang looked at Cheng Qingshan with a half-smile. Do you think I can trust you? Cheng Qingshan nodded vigorously. Yes, sir. Principal Jiang finally smiled for the first time since entering the room, but this smile carried a hint of mockery. You'd even cheat your own daughter. How could I possibly trust you? They say there's no parent in the world who doesn't love their child. Well, the old man has finally seen it all. I've actually met one. Stop talking and stay still. You'll have your chance to speak. Cheng Qingshan's face flushed red, then turned pale. Silently, he bent down and stepped aside. Mom finally released her grip on my hand. No one spoke anymore, and the oppressive atmosphere in the room made it hard to breathe. Cheng Shina was the first to reach her limit. She tugged at Chen Hongting's sleeve. Mom, let's go. We'll miss our flight if we wait any longer. Chen Hongting cautiously glanced at Cheng Qingshan, tentatively asking, Qingshan, are we still going on the trip? Cheng Qingshan, who had been acting subservient all along, finally snapped, pointing at Chen Hongting's nose. He yelled, Is your head filled with shit? What kind of time is this to still be thinking about traveling? Seeing Chen Hongting being scolded into silence, Cheng Shina took advantage of being the favored one. She stepped in front of her mother. Dad, don't scold Mom. She's just... Before she could finish, Cheng Qingshan's slap had already landed on her face. It's all your fault, you idiot. I spent so much money, and this is the pathetic result you give me. Even if I hired two laborious from the job market, they'd learn better than you. Cheng Shina covered her face, sobbing quietly. Cry, you still have the nerve to cry. A loud slap echoed as Cheng Qingshan gave Cheng Shina 2 more slaps. If it weren't for you, this disaster, how could things have turned out like this? Get over there and apologize to your sister. Cheng Shina was terrified from being hit. He lowered his head and walked up to me, bowing deeply. Sister, I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? I quickly stepped aside. No. I'm not worthy of your grand gesture. I'm just a failure. You're right. I deserved to have my college entrance exam scores taken away, my top rank stolen, and even my father taken from me. Cheng Shina bent over. Too afraid to stand up, she turned her head, looking at Chen Hongting helplessly. I shook my head helplessly. This level, and she still wants to go to Qing University. Even if she somehow got in, could she keep up? Chen Hongting wanted to go over and help her daughter up, but she didn't dare. Cheng Qingshan was glaring at her fiercely. I asked you to invite Wana to travel with us. Is this how you invite her? Chen Hongting stammered, too afraid to speak. Cheng Qingshan wasn't stupid. From my sarcasm, he could easily tell how they had been mistreating me and my mother. He slapped Chen Hongting hard twice. Go over there and apologize. Before Chen Hongting could move forward, my mother spoke up to stop her. Spare me. This old woman can't bear such honors. Principal Jiang and the Middle-aged officer looked at Cheng Qingshan with undisguised contempt in their eyes. 8. Before Cheng Qingshan could continue his performance, the sound of brakes screeched repeatedly downstairs. Before long, several people entered my home. The leader, dressed in military uniform, first saluted Principal Jiang upon entering, then he began to introduce the situation. He said he was from the Provincial Armed Forces Department. The 3 people he brought were the director of the Provincial Department of Education, a colleague from the Provincial Public Security Department, and the Vice Governor in charge of education. Seeing that everyone had arrived, Principal Jiang pointed at Cheng Qingshan with a cold expression. Investigate strictly. Whoever helped him with this matter must be thoroughly investigated. The director of the Provincial Department of Education quickly nodded in agreement. The police colleagues took Cheng Qingshan and the other 2 away. I let out a long sigh of relief, secretly grateful that this phone call had been the right move. It seems that trusting the country was indeed the right choice. Principal Jiang looked at me kindly. Classmate Cheng Wn, do you have any other requests? I asked hesitantly. Comrade leader, I'd like to ask, if Cheng Qingshan is sentenced, will it affect me? Principal Jiang paused for a moment. There will definitely be an impact. Tears instantly streamed down my face. Principal Jiang waved his hand. Don't rush, let me finish. You were able to identify the problem, report it proactively, and actively expose it. Take the initiative to distance yourself from him. It shows that your attitude is positive. I hurriedly nodded. Positive, positive. Principal Jiang smiled and nodded. But if Cheng Qingshan receives a criminal penalty, your file will definitely have a mark. Then you'll need to focus more on your studies and training than your classmates after starting school. Prove your loyalty and political awareness with outstanding academic performance and good political conduct. I took a deep breath and bowed to Principal Jiang. Principal Jiang, rest assured, I will redouble my efforts once school begins. Principal Jiang left with the middle-aged officer. My heart finally settled from Principal Jiang's words. It wasn't hard for me to understand. My admission to the National University of Defense Technology was pretty much confirmed. Suddenly, I felt a wave of exhaustion, and the feeling of having survived a disaster made me relax completely. My mom scowled and muttered angrily at Cheng Qingshan. She said he always brought me trouble and was nothing but a burden. By the end, my mom looked at me hopefully. Daughter, do you think you'd be unaffected if you severed ties with Cheng Qingshan as your father now? I shook my head slightly. Mom, don't think about it anymore. He is my biological father, can't be severed. Even if you sign an agreement to cut off the father-daughter relationship, it's not legally recognized. After hearing this, my mother started sighing again. I comforted her. Mom, it's okay. I'll definitely behave well after starting school. I believe once everyone sees how I behave, they won't judge me just because I have a father who's a criminal. Mom sighed and said, I guess that's all we can do. 9. The day Chen Hongting was released, she knelt at my doorstep, wailing incessantly. My mother paced nervously. Xiaowan, what should we do? That shrew Chen Hongting is kneeling at the door, throwing a tantrum. How are we supposed to leave? I calmly walked over and opened the door. When she saw me, Chen Hongting lunged at me like a madwoman. Fortunately, the neighbors stopped her. Cheng Wn, you bitch, you've ruined my Shina. You clearly got into the military academy. Why didn't you say so earlier? If you had spoken up sooner, I could have just had Shina replace someone else. Now it's done. Qing University has returned Shina's records. Her life is ruined. Are you satisfied, you poisonous woman? How cruel you are. I listened quietly, listening to her shameless accusations and morally bankrupt statements. I didn't speak until she shut up. Chen Hongting, are you done talking? Chen Hongting was pinned to the ground by the neighbors, her eyes filled with intense hatred. Chen Hongting, you're saying I harmed your daughter. Wasn't it your greed that harmed her? You changed her name and altered her records early on to make her impersonate me. Wasn't all this premeditated by you from the start? If I hadn't applied to a military academy but instead happened to choose Qing University, wouldn't I be the one left with no recourse to complain now? Who would sympathize with me? The onlooking neighbors whispered among themselves. all condemning Cheng Qingshan for his cruelty and Chen Hongting for her viciousness. Someone took out their phone, recorded the scene, and posted it online. Chen Hongting gnashed her teeth and said, "Then why didn't you say you applied to a military academy? At worst, Shina could have found someone else to replace." I curled the corner of my lips into a faint smile. Perhaps even the heavens couldn't stand to watch your wicked family any longer. The wicked will always meet their retribution. And now, your punishment has arrived. Chen Hongting was so furious she was nearly driven mad, struggling incessantly. Cheng Wn, just you wait. Once Qingshan is out, I'll make sure he deals with you. And your mother, that old hag won't get off easy either. I was genuinely amused by her stupidity. Leaning down, I whispered softly in her ear, "Chen Hongting, guess why your husband and daughter still haven't come out yet?" Chen Hongting stopped struggling and stared at me with wide eyes. "Because they can't come out. Even if they do, it will take years. Think about how Cheng Qingshan lost his job because of you, how your daughter's future was ruined because of you. Do you think they'll let you off? Chen Hongting, go ahead and stir up trouble. Your best days are yet to come." I haven't been idle during this time. I've read many books on legal matters. Cheng Qingshan is guilty of dereliction of duty, abuse of power, and forging official documents, certificates, and seals of state institutions, with multiple charges combined. I don't believe he can come out unscathed. Cheng Shina didn't have to go to jail originally, but they were too greedy. The 200,000 yuan reward from the school, the 200,000 yuan reward from the district, and the 300,000 yuan reward from the city, plus the 500,000 yuan scholarship set up by entrepreneurs for the top scorer in the college entrance exams. She took all of it. It was also deposited into her own account. This is blatant fraud, and the amount involved is substantial. She is already an adult and bears full criminal responsibility. The law will not let her off either. Chen Hongting's dream could still last for a while, but when the dream ends, her misfortune begins. 1 week before school starts, the admission letter from the National University of Defense Technology was personally delivered to me by a middle-aged officer. He was the admissions office teacher who had answered my call back then. Before leaving, the teacher specifically reminded me not to miss the registration deadline. Of course I wouldn't miss it. This is an opportunity one fought hard to obtain. Mom's job transfer went smoothly. Ever since Chen Hongting's video was exposed, the leaders at Mom's workplace were very sympathetic towards us, a widow and her orphaned child. He personally helped his mother with this matter. After the job was settled, his mother's heart finally returned to its place. That's great. This way my mother and I won't have to be separated. 3 days before the reporting date, my mom and I were tidying up at home. The court called. They said Cheng Qingshan and Cheng Shina would be sentenced tomorrow and asked if we wanted to attend the hearing. Mom looked at me, and I nodded vigorously. I must go. I want to see them get the punishment they deserve. My mother and I sat in the public gallery. The trial soon began. Looking at Cheng Qingshan's dejected face and Cheng Shina's pale complexion in the dock, the anger that had been weighing on my heart finally dissipated in court. Cheng Qingshan pleaded guilty to the charges against him. Cheng Shina was too terrified to speak, so her defense lawyer answered on her behalf. The trial proceeded quickly, and soon it was time for the verdict. After everyone stood up, the judge began to deliver the verdict. The defendant Cheng Qingshan has clear illegal acts with conclusive evidence. In accordance with the relevant provisions of Article 280 and Article 397 of the Criminal Law of the People's Republic of China, the judgment is as follows. The defendant Cheng Qingshan is convicted of the crime of impersonation, aggravated, abuse of power, and forgery of official documents of state organs. The combined punishment for multiple offenses is determined to be 7 years of fixed-term imprisonment, with deprivation of political rights for 5 years. The defendant, Cheng Shina, has clear facts of illegal conduct, supported by conclusive evidence. In accordance with relevant provisions such as Article 280 and Article 397 of the Criminal Law of the People's Republic of China, the judgment is as follows. The defendant Cheng Shina is guilty of the crimes of impersonation, forging official documents of state organs, and fraud. Having committed multiple crimes, she is sentenced to 5 years of imprisonment, deprived of political rights for 1 year, and all illegal gains are to be confiscated. The moment the verdict was announced, a loud thud came from the corner of the public gallery. Someone had fainted. Looking towards the corner, there was Chen Hongting. My mother and I exchanged a knowing smile. Serves you right. This is karma. When taken away, Cheng Qingshan remained calm, though his once straight back had become noticeably hunched. Cheng Shina was already paralyzed with fear. She was dragged away by the bailiffs. Before I could even leave the courthouse, someone stopped me. Looking up, I saw the presiding judge, who had just been sitting on the bench. After being taken to his office with my mother, the presiding judge handed me a bank card. Sign here. This is what you deserve. I looked at him puzzled and didn't reach out to take it. The presiding judge smiled. This includes the rewards from the school and the government for the top scorer, as well as the full scholarship provided by the entrepreneur. It's all in here. I see. I accepted it without hesitation. This was rightfully mine to begin with. After signing the documents, my mother and I left the courthouse. This matter has finally been settled. Early the next morning, my mother and I boarded a flight to Xiong Province. The plane soared across the sky. I looked down at Jiangcheng from above. Here lie the traces of my 18 years of growth, marked by relentless struggle and perseverance. It's also the place where Mom has spent half her lifetime. Gazing at Mom's face, now touched by the winds of time, I reached out, gently tracing the fine lines at the corners of her eyes. Mom held my hand and smiled gently. Don't be sad, Xiaowan. Each stop has its own scenery, each journey its own state of mind. As long as you keep striving upward, there will always be a bright future ahead waiting for you. Yes, Mom is right. As long as I maintain the drive to strive and improve, there will surely be a bright future waiting for us ahead. Listen to the next story. My name is Song Chimian, and I'm the class's universally acknowledged queen of faking poor. It was only the 3rd day of freshman year when my roommate, Xue Manli, suddenly screenshot my WeChat moments and threw it into the freshman group chat. LOL, just hit campus and I've already found a fake heiress. Her location tag says Cloud Dining Pavilion, and she even paired it with a diamond membership card. She's committed to the act. Cloud Dining Pavilion has a minimum per person cost of 6,000, and she's out here wearing canvas shoes, daring to steal someone else's picture. I stared at the screen, and a laugh escaped me. In the screenshot was a pre-dinner dessert I'd casually posted last night. Location: Cloud Dining Pavilion. In the corner of the photo, half a silver white diamond card was visible. That card, my brother had it specially made by Cloud Dining Pavilion just to coax me into attending university in this city. There's only one in the entire city. I turned to look at Xue Manli. Delete it. Xue Manli was leaning back in her chair, applying lipstick. At my words, she raised an eyebrow. Delete what? I didn't say anything wrong. She waved her phone, her voice sweet but cutting. Song Chimian, if you didn't steal that picture, why are you so anxious? I reached for my own water cup and took a sip. Calm down, don't argue with her in the dorm. Arguing would only make me seem on her level. I spoke flatly. I took that picture, and the card is mine. The room went silent for half a second. Xue Manli burst out laughing. Yours? She looked like she'd just heard the funniest joke. Song Chimian, do you even know what level a diamond card at Cloud Dining Pavilion is? My cousin went there once with her boss, and she said you need an annual spending of over 10 million to even qualify for one. And you, who showed up for orientation on a green train, think you're worthy. The other roommate, Xiaoji, chimed in with a small laugh. Chimian, maybe you shouldn't keep forcing it. We're all roommates. Admitting you stole the picture isn't a big deal. I glanced at her. I didn't take a green train. Xiaoji froze. I added, my family's driver dropped me off at the school gate. I thought it was too flashy, so I had him stop 2 streets away. Xue Manli laughed even harder. Oh wow, now there's a driver. She bent down and sent another message in the group. She says she has a driver, and that the Cloud Dining Pavilion diamond card is hers. The class group chat exploded. Ha 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 ha. This year's freshman quality is off the charts. Canvas shoes and a driver. Sister Song, does your driver ride a shared bike? This is textbook professional poser material. Claiming a Cloud Dining Pavilion diamond card, that's some serious guts. I didn't reply. Explaining was pointless, they'd already decided I was the joke. The more I explained, the more they'd get off on it. That night, Shwe Manli was in the dorm, broadcasting live on voice chat. "Yeah. It's the one in our room." She even said the card was hers. It's hilarious. If that Cloud Dining Pavilion diamond card were really hers, I'd do a headstand and wash my hair on the spot. I lay in bed and turned over. Only one sentence echoed in my mind: "Don't rush, she'll wash it." The next afternoon, I realized the diamond card was missing from my bag. I searched my backpack, my suitcase, even the cracks in my bed frame. Nothing. Finally, my eyes landed on Shwe Manli's desk. She was clipping her hair. In front of the mirror, barely hiding the smirk on her lips, her phone screen was lit up. In the class group chat, she'd just sent a message: "This Friday night, I'm treating the whole class to dinner at Cloud Dining Pavilion. Some people don't deserve to get in, so I'll show everyone what it's really like." Then she added another line: "Don't worry, the diamond membership card is right here with me." I stared at those words for 2 seconds, then I smiled. So she'd stolen my card and she planned to use my card, trample on my face, and build herself up as a rich heiress. The class group chat went wild. "Holy crap, Cloud Dining Pavilion. For real, Sister Shwe, you're a legend. I just looked it up. Minimum 6,000 per person, and the private rooms need a membership reservation. This meal must cost hundreds of thousands. Right, rich girl, look my way." Shwe Manli basked in the flood of praise, deliberately sending a voice message in the group: "Oh, it's not that big a deal, it's just a place my family goes to often. I just wanted to treat everyone to a gathering. After all, we're classmates. Don't let certain people make the circle seem so mysterious." Someone in the group immediately jumped in: "Certain people, you might as well just say my ID number. Ha ha ha. Is Song Chimyen gonna cry?" The place she stole pictures from, Sister Shwe can actually get into, at Song Chimyen. "Are you coming Friday? You can see up close how a real diamond card works. Would she dare to come? The picture thief would have to crawl under the table when she meets the real deal." I left the class group chat. I texted my brother: "I lost the card." My brother replied instantly: "If it's lost, it's lost. Make another one." I texted him back: "Someone stole it. They're taking the whole class to Yunting Feast on Friday to treat everyone." There was 10 seconds of silence on the other end. Then the phone rang. The moment I picked up, Song Jiyu's voice turned cold. "Who?" "My roommate. Call the police." No rush. I sat in my chair, watching Shwe Manli hum a tune while picking out a dress. "She wants to show off. I'll let her show off to the very end." Song Jiyu understood and let out a light laugh. "Alright, I'll talk to Yunting Feast. Handle it as usual. Handle it as usual." I lowered my eyes and spoke slowly. "Bill at full price, not a single cent off. When they swipe the card, verify the identity in public, make it clear right there, and keep the surveillance footage safe." Song Jiyu said lazily. "Chimyen, you're starting to act more and more like me." I looked at the mocking messages flooding the group chat and curled the corner of my mouth. "Bro, if a person gets bitten by a dog, they don't kneel down and reason with it. You pick up a stick." 2 days before Friday, Shwe Manli was thoroughly famous. The freshman group, the department group, the confession wall, everywhere was buzzing with news that she was treating everyone to Yunting Feast. She even posted a dedicated WeChat moment. The picture featured my diamond card. On the card was engraved a tiny silver lily of the valley that was the flower my mother loved most when she was alive. Shwe Manli probably thought it looked pretty, so she made sure to capture the lily of the valley clearly. The caption read, "Keeping a low profile for too long isn't good either. People always take you for a pushover." The comments below were full of flattery. "Lily, you've been hiding your depth. Top-tier rich girl confirmed. That girl who stole the pictures must be so embarrassed now." I stared at that lily of the valley for a long time. The fire in my heart slowly began to burn, bit by bit. Stealing the card was one thing, but using the mark my mother left behind to show off. "Shwe Manli, you really know how to pick your way to die." That evening, I returned to the dorm. Shwe Manli was sitting in my chair, opening packages with Xiao Ji. She pulled out a champagne-colored strapless dress and held it up in front of herself. "How about wearing this on Friday?" Xiao Ji exaggeratedly covered her mouth. "Oh my god, it's gorgeous. If you wear this to Yunting Feast, you'll definitely be the center of attention." Shwe Manli smiled and looked at me. Chimyon, what are you wearing on Friday? I put down my books. Am I going? The smugness in her eyes was almost overflowing. Of course you're going. Why wouldn't you be? Didn't you say the photos of Yunting feast were taken by you? Then you must be very familiar with it. Ciao. She also laughed. Yeah, you can even introduce the dishes to us then. I sat down and took back my chair. Shwe Manli was forced to stand up, her expression turning a bit sour. Song Chimyon, what's with your attitude? I looked up. Before sitting in someone else's chair, you don't know to ask. She let out a scoff. Stop acting so high and mighty. I ignored her, but she wasn't about to let me off. She leaned in close. Oh, by the way, what about your diamond card? How come I haven't seen you pull it out these past 2 days? I stared at her. Don't you know the answer yourself? Shwe Manli's face changed for a moment, but she quickly smiled again. How would I know, Song Chimyon? You're not going to say I stole your card, are you? She emphasized the word stole heavily, as if she was sure I had no proof. Xiaoji immediately frowned. Chimyon, you can't just say things like that. Lily's family is rich anyway. Why would she need to steal yours? Shwe Manli's eyes reddened, her grievance coming on quickly. I know you can't stand me. I treat everyone to a meal, and everyone praises me. You're unhappy about it, but you can't slander me by saying I stole something. As she spoke, she picked up her phone, ready to record. Say it again. Who stole your card? I watched her perform really something. Tears on demand. A sense of framing for the camera on demand. I spoke. I didn't say you. A glimmer of triumph flashed in Shwe Manli's eyes. Thinking I'd backed down, I continued. I said the person who stole the card. Her expression froze. I slowly added one more sentence. Whoever's anxious is the guilty one. Xiaoji's face also changed. Her lips moved, but she said nothing. Shwe Manli clenched her phone, gritting her teeth. Song Chimyon, stop being so passive-aggressive. I'm treating the whole class to Yunting feast on Friday. You'd better not come, otherwise, when you see what real wealthy people's lives are like, it'll just set you off again. I let out a smile. I'll be there. She was taken aback. You actually dare to come? Of course. I lowered my head to organize my textbooks. I wouldn't want to miss the good show. Shwe Manli stared at me, her eyes growing dark and heavy. She was probably starting to feel uneasy. That evening, a new post appeared on the school's confession wall, exposing a Chinese department freshman, Song Chimyon, for stealing photos to pretend to be rich and falsely accusing a roommate of theft. The post was long. It went from me wearing canvas shoes, using an old computer, not bringing a designer bag at the start of the semester, all the way to my WeChat Moments location tag at Yunting banquet. Every sentence was expertly crafted to stir up sentiment. She puts on this cold face every day, thinking she's so high class. In reality, she's just a broke poser. After Lily exposed her for stealing photos, she broke down and even started spreading rumors in the dorm that Lily stole her diamond card. Everyone be the judge. Lily's family can afford to treat the whole class to Yunting banquet. Why would she need to steal a card from some photo-stealing girl? The comment section quickly went down in flames. Damn, this girl is disgusting. Gets exposed for stealing photos and bites back. So twisted. Song Chimyon, got it, avoiding her from now on. I'll feel unlucky just seeing her tomorrow. Poor Lily, having to deal with this kind of person after treating everyone to dinner. Shwe Manli even replied underneath the post, thank you all for trusting me. See you at Yunting banquet on Friday. My treat. Anyone who wants to come can DM me. The buzz exploded instantly. It was originally just a few dozen people from the class, but to crush me completely, she expanded the guest list to the entire college. I stared at that comment. Only one thought remained in my mind. Shwe Manli, you really have the nerve. Then don't blame me when the bill comes out ugly. The next day, the moment I arrived at the teaching building entrance, someone recognized me. Is that Song Chimyon, the one who stole photos? She looks pretty aloof, but turns out she's that vain. A few girls deliberately brushed past me, bumping my shoulder. My books fell to the ground. I bent down to pick them up. One of them, a girl with short hair, stepped on my notebook. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it there. She said sorry, but her foot didn't move. I looked up at her. Move it. She grinned at me. You say move, and I move. Who do you think you are? Someone nearby raised their phone to record. The photo-stealing girl is pretty feisty. Film this, film this. Let's see how she keeps up the act. I stared at that shoe. This notebook held 3 nights' worth of my carefully organized course notes, the sole of her shoe pressed down, leaving a dusty print on the first page. That thin thread of composure inside me snapped. Endure, Friday, we'll settle it all then. I reached out, grabbed the side of her shoe, and shoved it aside. The short-haired girl stumbled back 2 steps. You pushed me, she shrieked. I picked up my notebook and brushed the dust off it. I didn't push. I looked at her. Practice your balance before you try to fake a fall. A few people around laughed. The short-haired girl's face flushed red as she pointed at me. You think you're tough? Being a photo thief gives you the right. I flipped open my notebook to check if any pages were torn. You want to stand up for Shwemanli? She sneered. Lily is beautiful and kind. You slandered her, and I can't stand it. I closed the notebook. Fine, I nodded. Eat well on Friday. She froze. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. I walked past her. Curses followed behind me. Freak, who does she think she is? First period in the morning. Shwemanli showed up 10 minutes late. She clicked in on low heels, a milk tea in hand. Like she was walking a red carpet. The moment she entered, a few people in class started cheering. Sister Shwe is here, the Yunting banquet rich girl. We're counting on you, Friday. Shwemanli smiled sweetly. Everyone, don't call me that. It makes me embarrassed. The class monitor, Chi Yusheng, sat in the front row and turned to look at me. Song Chimyan, are you going on Friday? The classroom went silent. Everyone looked at me. I lifted my eyes. I'll go. Chi Yusheng laughed. Pretty brave. Then don't start saying Lily stole your stuff again. With all of us there, who would want to lose that much face? I looked at her. You're the class monitor. That's right, the class leader leading a cyberbullying campaign against a classmate. That takes some guts too. Chi Yusheng's face changed instantly. Who's cyberbullying? I placed a screenshot of the confession wall on the desk. You left 3 comments last night. First one, the photo-stealing girl has some thick skin. Second one, suggest the whole college avoid her. Third one, Lily is too kind, still treating her to dinner. I looked up at her. Need me to read the fourth one? Murmurs spread through the classroom. Chi Yusheng never expected me to have screenshots. Her face couldn't hide her embarrassment. Did I say anything wrong? I laughed out loud. Shwemanli, you'd really be perfect for acting. She bit her lip. How can you say that about me? I pulled back my phone. Because your performance is terrible. The classroom fell silent again. Shwemanli's tears instantly dropped. I know, you just hate that I exposed you, but I really didn't think you'd target me like this. Chi Yusheng immediately stood up. Song Chimyan, that's enough. Lily kindly invited everyone to dinner. Who are you being sarcastic for? When Friday comes at Yunting banquet, if you've got the guts, pull out a diamond card too. I looked at Shwemanli. She was lowering her head, wiping her tears, but the corner of her mouth lifted slightly. I sneered in my heart. Fine, see you on Friday. That very night, Shwemanli posted another moment on WeChat. Kindness isn't wrong, but kindness also needs thorns. The picture was of the entrance to Yunting banquet. She must have scouted the place ahead of time. In the photo, the black gold sign at the door was especially eye-catching. The comment section was full of people calling her a goddess. I opened the picture and looked at the corner. What a coincidence. Standing behind her was the duty manager of Yunting banquet. I knew that person, Qin Yangbai, my brother's college classmate. Also the general manager of Yunting banquet. I sent Qin Yangbai a message. I'll be there on Friday. Qin Yangbai replied quickly. Got it. Your brother already told me. A few seconds later, he sent another line. Little princess, are you sure you want to let them order? The drinks at Yunting banquet are pretty expensive. I replied, let them order. Order as much as they want. Serve as much as they order. One friendly reminder is enough. Qin Yangbai sent a received. I put down my phone. Shwemanli, you want the whole school to see me as a joke? Then Friday night, let them see clearly who the real joke is. Friday night at 7, the entrance to Yunting banquet was packed with cars. Shwemanli, wearing a champagne-colored slip dress, was surrounded by a group of classmates. As she walked in, she held my diamond card between her fingers, like she was holding a coronation decree. Everyone, order whatever you want tonight. She smiled brightly. Don't be polite. We're here to have fun. The crowd instantly cheered. Sister Schwer is generous. Long live Lily. Tonight, I'm going to eat through the menu. I stood not far away, watching her raised hand, the lily of the valley on that card glinted under the lights. The fire in my heart was completely unstoppable. I walked over and directly grabbed her wrist. Schwer Manley. She was startled by me. The people around me quieted down. I stared at that card, word by word. You're holding my things, and you're pretending to be the host here. Schwer Manley's face went pale for a moment. Chi Yuxing immediately rushed out. Song Chimyan, what kind of crazy stunt are you pulling now? I didn't look at her, my fingers tightened, and Schwer Manley winced in pain. Let go. She lowered her voice. Song Chimyan, don't make a scene here. I laughed. When you stole it, you weren't afraid of making a scene. When you posted online, you weren't afraid of making a scene. When you made the whole school curse me, you weren't afraid of making a scene either. I released her wrist. My voice not loud, but loud enough for everyone around to hear. Now that you're at the door of Yunting Banquet, you're scared, someone in the crowd started. Holding up their phone, Schwer Manley's eyes reddened again. She was really something. Tears came on command. Chimyan, I know you're not reconciled, but this card really is mine. You've already made trouble many times out of jealousy. She held up the card, turning to the crowd. Everyone saw it. The diamond card is in my hand. Tonight, I'm treating. Some people don't deserve to come in, so they want to disgust everyone at the door. Chi Yuxing immediately chimed in. Song Chimyan, have some shame. Making a fool of yourself at the entrance of Yunting Banquet is a disgrace to our whole class. The short-haired girl also shouted from the side. Security, can't they just kick her out? I looked at all these faces, the ones who stomped on my notebook a few days ago, the ones who called me poor in the comments, the ones who sent private messages telling me to drop out of school. Now they were all standing behind Schwer Manley, waiting to eat the meal she stole. Fine, don't miss a single one of them. I took a step back. Fine, go in. Schwer Manley thought she had one, and the corner of her mouth lifted again. Chimyan, I'm glad you can see reason. Just remember, there's a lot of people in the private room tonight. If you go in, keep a low profile. I nodded. Don't worry. I'll keep a low profile and watch until the very end. The waiters at Yunting Banquet led them into the largest private room. The room could seat 60 people. Schwer Manley had originally only invited the whole class, but after the confession wall post went up, nearly 50 people showed up. Qin Yangbai stood at the door, personally greeting them. Miss Schwer, welcome. As soon as Schwer Manley heard the manager address her, she straightened her back even more. She pretended to be familiar and asked, just serve the dishes according to the Diamond member standard tonight. Qin Yangbai gave a slight smile. Of course. I stood at the back of the crowd, lowering my head to message my brother. It's starting, Song Jiu replied. Don't go hungry watching the show. I had the kitchen save your favorite crab roe tofu. I sent back an emoji just as I finished. Chi Yuxing noticed me. Song Chimyan, you're actually following us in. She looked me up and down. You're not thinking of mooching off Lily's meal, are you? The people around started laughing again. Sister screenshot moocher. Classic. She made such a scene at the door earlier, and now she's still following us in. Thick-skinned as always. I found a corner and sat down. I'll pay. Chi Yuxing was stunned for a moment, then laughed even harder. You'll pay? Do you know how much a glass of water costs here? Schwer Manley sat at the head of the table and spoke gently. Forget it, Yuxing. Let her sit if she wants. After all, she doesn't usually get to experience places like this. As soon as those words were spoken, another burst of laughter erupted. I pulled out my phone and glanced at the time. 7:15, less than 4 hours until she kneels. When the menu was brought in, the room exploded again. Oh my god, one serving of wagyu is 9,800. This sea urchin tart is 3,600 each. The drinks are terrifying too. This bottle of red wine is 180,000. Qin Yangbai stood to the side, speaking politely. Everyone. Yunting Banquet operates on a reservation-only private dining system, with ingredients flown in fresh daily. I recommend ordering according to the number of people to avoid waste. Tang Yu, the sports rep, closed the menu with a flourish and said boldly, "What's there to be afraid of? Sister Schwer is treating us." Yeah, the diamond card is right here, we're not eating for free tonight. A slight stiffness flickered across Shwe Manli's smile, but it quickly returned to normal, as long as everyone's happy. I almost laughed out loud right now, she was probably thinking anyway. The diamond card covers everything for free, eat as much as we want, it doesn't matter she didn't know that the diamond card's benefits could only be activated after the owner's face recognition, fingerprint, and signature were all verified in person. The card in her hand was at most a key to the door. It could get you in, but it couldn't get you a free meal. The ordering spiraled out of control. 10 servings of this bluefin tuna belly, 2 servings of black truffle roast pigeon per table, 5 portions of the king crab sashimi platter. Let's open 1 bottle of that 180,000 wine to try. What's the point of just 1 bottle? Let's get 2, the waiter reminded them. A second time, everyone, some of the items you've ordered are quite expensive per serving. Are you sure? Tang Yu waved his hand impatiently. Confirmed, confirmed. What, afraid we can't pay? Qi Yusheng chimed in too. Sister Shwe hasn't said anything. Why are you reminding us? Shwe Manli, caught in the spotlight of everyone's gaze, could only grit her teeth and nod. Bring it all. Qin Yangbai glanced at me. I sat in the corner and gave a slight nod. Bring it all, every single item, soon. Dish after dish was brought in. The room was filled with the sound of cameras clicking non-stop. This plating is way too fancy. Hurry up and take a picture. Post it on Moments. Yunting Banquet. Check-in success. Shwe Manli was surrounded by people taking photos with her. She held her wine glass, her smile as perfect as if it had been rehearsed. Lili, can you let me take a picture of the diamond card? I want to post it on Moments too. Shwe Manli hesitated a little. Qi Yusheng immediately said, what's there to hide? It's real anyway. As she spoke, she shot a provocative look at me. Take a good look, sister. Screenshot. This is what a real card looks like. Shwe Manli, buoyed by the adulation, took the card out again and placed it on the table. Several people took turns holding it for photos. I watched the card pass from one hand to another during the meal. Their chatter grew more and more reckless. Song Chimian, why aren't you eating? The short-haired girl deliberately picked up a small piece of wagyu and placed it on the empty plate in front of me. Here, a gift for you, she said with a grin. You've probably never eaten meat this expensive in your whole life, have you? I glanced at the piece of meat she had turned over with her chopsticks. Keep it for yourself. She rolled her eyes. Who are you trying to fool? Don't secretly regret this when you get back to the dorm. Someone nearby started stirring things up. Let her toast Lili with a drink, right? Yeah, shouldn't a freeloader know the rules? Qi Yusheng picked up a wine glass and handed it to me. Song Chimian apologized to Lili. Tonight, Lili was generous enough not to kick you out. Drink this, and let bygones be bygones. I looked at the red wine in the glass. What bygones? Qi Yusheng frowned. You stole her pictures. Spread rumors she took the card, and made a scene at the door. I smiled faintly. Qi Yusheng, before you became class monitor, didn't the school teach you how to spell the word evidence? Her face darkened. Still talking back, Shwe Manli sighed softly. Forget it, Yusheng. If she doesn't want to apologize, I won't force her. Let's all have a good time tonight. Don't let her spoil the mood. Tang Yu had had a bit to drink and was bolder than usual. He slammed his glass on the table. Song Chimian, Lili gave you face. Don't throw it away. I looked up at him. Are you drunk? He sneered. I'm crystal clear. I've seen plenty of girls like you, broke but pretending to be rich, and the moment someone calls you out, you lose it. Be grateful you're even sitting here tonight. All thanks to Lili. I couldn't be bothered to argue with a drunk. I pulled out my phone and opened the voice recorder. Tang Yu saw it and immediately reached out to grab it. What are you recording? I dodged his hand. Recording a dog barking. The room went silent. The next second, Tang Yu shot up from his seat. Who are you calling a dog? I stared at him. Whoever's barking. His face turned red with anger. Shwe Manli quickly stood up and stepped in front of him. Tang Yu, don't bother with her. Then she turned to me, her eyes cold. Song Chimian, you really don't need to act like this. After tonight, everyone will form their own judgment. I glanced down at the estimated bill on the table. It was already 7:30, and that didn't even include the service charge for the drinks. I smiled at her. Right, after tonight, everyone will form their own judgment. By 9 o'clock, the atmosphere in the private room had completely spiraled. Someone was drunk, singing into the microphone. Someone was using caviar as a dip for potato chips. Someone had piled up the empty king crab shells into a small mountain and posted it on social media with the caption, "Thanks to Sister Shwe for the treat." Shwe Manli sat at the head of the table, a trace of exhaustion on her face. She tried to rein in the ordering a few times, but every time someone shouted, "Sister Shwe isn't going to be stingy." Is she? She could only force a smile and say it was fine. In the corner, I finished a serving of crab roe tofu. Qin Yangbai had the kitchen make it just for me. Qi Yusheng noticed and frowned at the waiter. How does she have a separate dish? The waiter smiled politely. This dish was specially ordered by another guest. Qi Yusheng snorted coldly. She sure knows how to freeload. I didn't bother explaining. At 10:30, the last batch of desserts arrived. Shwe Manli finally let out a sigh of relief. "Alright, is everyone done? Did you all eat well?" "Yeah, that was awesome, Sister Shwe. Let's come again next time." Shwe Manli's smile was frozen in place. She pulled out her diamond card and, with a forced nonchalance, waved the waiter over. "Check, please." The room fell silent instantly. Many people raised their phones, ready to capture the legendary moment of the diamond card covering the bill. Qin Yangbai walked in personally. Holding a tablet, he took the card and placed it on the reader. Beep, the machine lit up for a second, then went dark. Shwe Manli's heart skipped a beat. "What's wrong?" Qin Yangbai looked at the screen, his tone steady. "Ms. Shwe, this diamond card cannot activate the bill-free privilege." Shwe Manli's wineglass trembled in her hand. "What did you say?" Qin Yangbai repeated himself. "The bill-free privilege cannot be activated. The cardholder must complete identity verification in person." Qi Yusheng froze. "In person? Isn't Li Li right here?" Qin Yangbai looked up at Shwe Manli. "The system shows that the real name holder of this card is not Ms. Shwe." The room went completely silent. The color drained from Shwe Manli's face. Tang Yu stood up, half sober now. "What do you mean? What do you mean it's not Ms. Shwe? Isn't this card Li Li's?" Qin Yangbai didn't answer him. He kept his eyes on Shwe Manli. "Ms. Shwe, can you present the cardholder's authorization document?" Shwe Manli's lips trembled. I. She suddenly whipped her head toward me. In that moment, she was finally panicking. I set down my spoon slowly. "What are you looking at me for?" Qin Yangbai followed her gaze and nodded politely. "Miss Song." The moment those words fell, everyone in the room turned to look at me. Qi Yusheng's eyes went wide. "What did you call her?" Qin Yangbai said calmly. "Miss Song." He picked up the diamond card, its face bearing the lily of the valley emblem facing the crowd. "The sole registered holder of this card is Miss Song Chimyan." The lily of the valley logo on the diamond card was personally confirmed and designed by Miss Song. All the materials, image records, and signature documents from when the card was activated are stored in the system. Each word landed like a slap, one after another, striking the faces of everyone present. The short-haired girl turned pale, stammering, "How is that possible? Wasn't she stealing images?" I stood up and walked to the table. "Stealing images?" I grabbed the photo from Shwe Manli's social media post and opened its original file information. Shooting time: August 27th, 7:42 p.m. Device: my phone. Location: Yunting Banquet Hall, private room 3. I opened my photo album the same night. I had taken complete photos of the dishes, the private room, the menu, and half of my brother's face sitting across from me. "Want to see more?" No one spoke. Shwe Manli gripped the tablecloth tightly, her knuckles turning white. I looked at her. "Shwe Manli, you tell me, why is my card in your hands?" Tears streamed down her face. "Chimyan, listen to me explain." I cut her off. "Don't call me by my name. When you stole my card, you called me image stealing sis. When you posted online, you called me that broke girl. Now that the card's proven to be mine, you remember to call me Chimyan." Shwe Manli's lips trembled violently. "I didn't steal it." She tried to hold her ground. So stubborn. I turned to Qin Yangbai. Pull the surveillance footage. Qin Yangbai nodded. The large screen quickly lit up. The footage showed the dormitory hallway. Time, Tuesday, 3:16 p.m. I had left the dorm to go to class. 10 minutes later, Shui Manli came out of the dorm, holding a silver white card case. She glanced down, confirmed no one was watching, and quickly stuffed it into her bag. She didn't know that the card case I had paired with that card contained a tracking chip. Nor did she know that the dormitory hallway surveillance captured everything clearly. The private room fell into dead silence. Shui Manli could no longer stand steady. The first to react was Qi Yuxing. She stepped back abruptly, as if afraid of being tainted by Shui Manli. Lily, did you really steal her card? Shui Manli's tears fell even harder. I didn't. Then what's the surveillance footage? Tang Yu's voice cracked with urgency. Explain yourself. Shui Manli, cornered and trembling, suddenly screamed, enough, yes. I took her card, so what? She's obviously so rich, but she dresses like an ordinary person every day, deliberately making a fool of me. She has a diamond card but kept quiet, making me think she was actually stealing images. I laughed at that. Having money, does that give you the right to steal? Shui Manli sobbed and shouted, who told you to pretend to be poor? If you had said early on that your family was rich, would I have posted those things? I pressed my hand against the table's edge, staring at her. Shui Manli, don't shift your bad deeds onto me. I wear canvas shoes because they're comfortable. I use an old laptop because it has photos of my mom inside. I don't flaunt my wealth because I find it troublesome. Stealing the card, spreading rumors, cyberbullying, pretending to be rich. Every step was your own choice. I pointed at the mess on the table. And these dishes, you told them to order whatever they wanted. Now, pay the bill. The moment those two words fell, Shui Manli's face turned completely ashen. As if suddenly remembering the most terrifying thing, she whipped her head toward Qin Yangbai. How much? Qin Yangbai turned the tablet toward her. The total for this meal is 1,126,400 yuan. A wave of sharp gasps filled the private room. How much? 1,126,000. Are they insane? Tang Yu stood up directly. Are you guys robbing us? Qin Yanbai's face turned cold. Sir, all dishes and drinks were confirmed and ordered by you. Before each additional order, the server provided a price reminder. The private room has continuous audio and video recording. He scrolled through the tablet. 20 servings of bluefin tuna belly, 196,000 yuan. 18 servings of premium wagyu platter, 176,400 yuan. 8 servings of king crab sashimi platter, 128,000 yuan. 16 servings of black truffle squab, 96,000 yuan. 2 bottles of Romani Conti, 360,000 yuan. Service fee and private room charge, totaling 82,000 yuan. With each item he read, the faces in the private room grew paler. Qi Yuxing's voice trembled. Lily, didn't you say you were treating us? Shui Manli finally broke down. How was I supposed to know it would be this expensive? Tang Yu immediately yelled. You didn't know. The menu had it written clearly, and you said order whatever. That's right. We all came because you had a diamond card. You said on the confession wall you'd treat everyone, no matter how many showed up. You can't make us split the bill, can you? I don't have money. My parents only give me 2,000 a month for living expenses. When Shui Manli heard the words split the bill, she latched onto them like a lifeline. Yeah, split the bill. We all ate the meal together, so why should I pay alone? Qi Yuxing's face turned green. Shui Manli, have you lost your mind? You're treating. You said it yourself in the group chat. Shui Manli didn't care about her image anymore. She pointed at Qi Yuxing and cursed. Stop pretending. Weren't you the one who ordered that 18,000 yuan bottle of wine? When you took photos and posted them on your moments, why didn't you say it was expensive? Now that things have gone south, you want to throw me under the bus alone. Tang Yu immediately fired back. We thought you could get it for free. Shui Manli's voice turned sharp. I thought I could get it for free too. After saying that, she whirled around to face me. It's all your fault. Song Chimian, you did this on purpose. You knew the card had to be verified in person, so why didn't you tell me? I looked at her, almost laughing in anger. Why would I teach a thief the instructions on how to use stolen goods? Shwe Manli froze. I continued, you stole my card, cursed me in the group chat, posted about me on the confession wall, and got the whole school to come eat this meal. Now the bill's here, and you're blaming me for not warning you. Shwe Manli, even the 2 layers of foundation on your face aren't as thick as your skin. Someone in the crowd couldn't help but laugh. Shwe Manli completely broke down. With a thud, she dropped to her knees in front of me. Chimyen, I was wrong. She grabbed the hem of my clothes, crying so hard her makeup smeared. I really know I was wrong. Please help me. Okay, my family can't come up with over $1 million. My dad's a taxi driver, and my mom works the register at a supermarket. If they find out I caused such a huge mess, they'll beat me to death. I looked down at her just moments ago. She was sitting at the head of the table, holding my card, demanding I toast her. Now she was kneeling before me, begging me to get the bill waived. This scene was satisfying enough, but it still wasn't enough. I crouched down and gently pulled my clothes back from her grip. Shwe Manli, you knelt too early. The meal bill is just the first account. Shwe Manli's sobbing paused. She looked up at me, terror flooding her eyes. What do you mean? I pulled out my phone and opened a folder. You screenshot my moments and posted them in the freshman group. You anonymously posted on the confession wall. You led classmates to insult me in the comments. You privately messaged others, saying I stole your makeup, your clothes, and your family's diamond card in the dorm. And you told everyone who shared the post to come freeload. I swiped through the screenshots one by one. I've kept all the evidence. I'll submit the materials to the school. I'll file a police report and press charges where needed. Shwe Manli's face went pale. No, she shook her head violently. You can't call the police. I can't have a criminal record. I need to take the civil service exam. I need to get into grad school. I stared at her. When you spread rumors about me, did you think I still had to study? When you sent people to corner me, did you think I wouldn't be scared? When you got the whole school to curse me, did you think I'm only 18? Shwe Manli opened her mouth, but no sound came out. I stood up and looked at Chin Yang Bai. Call the police, Shwe Manli screamed. No, she lunged to grab Chin Yang Bai's phone, but the security guard stopped her. The private room erupted into chaos. Some people tried to slip away. The waiter at the door blocked them politely. Everyone. The bill hasn't been settled yet. Please don't leave. Tang Yu panicked. We didn't steal the card. Why can't we leave? Chin Yang Bai looked at him. Sir, would you like me to play the video from when you ordered? Tang Yu's face stiffened. The big screen soon showed him shouting, 2 bottles of that 18,000 yuan wine. He slumped back into his chair and said nothing. Chi Yusheng was panicking too. She walked up to me, her voice much softer. Song Chimyen, tonight is indeed Lily's fault, but we were tricked into coming too. Do you think you could ask Yunting Banquet to reduce the bill a little? I looked at her. When you told me to toast Shwe Manli earlier, you sounded pretty tough. Chi Yusheng's face flushed red. I didn't know the truth back then. Not knowing the truth doesn't excuse you from insulting me. She bit her lip, tears threatening to fall. Can I apologize to you? I'm sorry. Could you please say a word for us? I shook my head. No. Chi Yusheng grew desperate. But your family is so rich. This amount of money is nothing to you. I cut her off. Being rich doesn't mean I have to forgive you. My family's money isn't obligated to pay for your malice, either. A few classmates nearby began to murmur in low voices. That's way too harsh. We're all classmates. Does it really have to go this far? She doesn't need the money anyway. I turned my head to look at them. Whoever thinks I'm harsh, pay Shwe Manli's bill right now. No one spoke up. I smiled slightly. Don't just be virtuous with your mouth. Those words left their faces sour. The police arrived quickly. Chin Yang Bai submitted the surveillance footage, card information, and order records. Shwe Manli sat in her chair, trembling all over. She still tried to argue. I didn't steal it, I just picked up the wrong one. The officer asked her, does your card look exactly the same as classmate Song's card? She choked on her words. The officer asked again, after you took the wrong one, why did you use that card to post on Moments and treat everyone to food? Shwe Manli cried, unable to answer. I added a remark. She also posted on the confession wall, saying this card belonged to her family. The officer looked at me. Do you have evidence? Yes, I sent over all the screenshots, screen recordings, and link archives I had organized. Shwe Manli seemed drained of strength, slumping completely in her chair. In the end, the police requested that she and several main orderers go to the station for further investigation. In the private room, those who had been shouting "Long live Sister Shwe" moments earlier now ducked their heads and shrank their necks. No one dared to look at me as I was leaving. Shwe Manli suddenly shouted at me, "Song Chimyen." Her voice was hoarse. "I knelt and begged you. Why won't you let me go?" I stopped walking. "Because kneeling is cheap. When you ruined my reputation, you didn't offer a discount." After that night, the school exploded. The incident at Yunting banquet spread everywhere through the students who had been there. At first, some people tried to defend Shwe Manli. She was just acting out of vanity. There's no need to destroy a girl over this. Over $1 million is too extreme. Yunting banquet shares some responsibility too. Song Chimyen knew the card wouldn't work and deliberately let things escalate. She's not innocent either. Soon, the full video was released. In the video, the server reminded them of the price every time. Tang Yu slapped the table and said, "Sister Shwe is treating us. What's there to worry about?" Chi Yusheng raised her glass and demanded I apologize. Shwe Manli held my diamond card and said, "Tonight, I'm treating everyone. Order whatever you want." Then came Qin Yangbai verifying the card publicly. Finally, Shwe Manli knelt on the ground, crying and begging me to waive the bill. The comments section immediately changed direction. "Holy crap, the drama of the year. She steals someone's card to treat people, and then calls her a picture thief." Song Chimyen handled this so satisfyingly. She already warned that it was her card, but Shwe Manli still stole it and pretended she deserved it. The class monitor is pretty disgusting too, leading the charge in bullying classmates, now playing the victim. Tang Yu was so bold ordering 180,000 in wine, now he's even bolder paying for it. The college group chat started digging up old grudges. Someone posted the original confession wall post. Someone organized the timeline of Shwe Manli stirring things up. Someone even made a long image of Chi Yusheng's comments. Class cadre leads online bullying of a classmate, suggests the college investigate. Chi Yusheng panicked and sent voice messages in the group. "I really didn't know Shwe Manli stole the card. I was tricked too." Someone immediately replied below, "You were tricked, so you called Song Chimyen picture thief. You were tricked, so you made her toast and apologized to Shwe Manli. You were tricked, so as class monitor, you didn't verify anything before jumping in to stir the pot." Chi Yusheng went silent. Tang Yu was even worse off. The video of him ordering wine last night went viral. The caption read, "Every word was Sister Shwe treats us." But when the bill came, he instantly became the victim. He broke down in the group. "Can you guys stop sharing it? I'm a victim too." Someone replied, "A victim? You had plenty of energy when you were cursing Song Chimyen. There's also a video of you snatching her phone. Want me to post that too?" Tang Yu, shut up. I didn't join these discussions. I stayed up all night. At 6 in the morning, I organized all the materials and sent them to my advisor, and the college email included the surveillance footage of Shwe Manli stealing the card, screenshots of the confession wall slander, chat records of her directing classmates to repost insults, the video of them cornering me offline, evidence of Chi Yusheng, Tang Yu, and others participating in the online bullying. After sending it, I got up to wash my face. Looking in the mirror, I saw dark circles under my eyes, really ugly, but it felt great. At 8 o'clock, my advisor called me to the office. When I pushed the door open, Shwe Manli was already there. She probably hadn't slept last night either. Her eyes were swollen like walnuts. The moment she saw me, she stood up immediately. "Chimyen." I looked at my advisor. "Teacher, I won't accept a private settlement." Shwe Manli's face turned pale. The counselor's prepared words caught in her throat. She let out a sigh. "Song, the school will definitely investigate. But Shwe also said she's willing to issue a public apology." I nodded. "She can apologize." A flicker of hope lit up Shwe Manli's eyes. I continued, "The apology is something she owes me. It's not a bargaining chip for me to drop the case." The light in her eyes died out. The counselor glanced at Shwe Manli, her tone turning harsher. "Shwe Manli, first, tell the whole story from the beginning." Shwe Manli kept her head down, sobbing. "I just had a moment of confusion. I saw that card in Chi Myon's bag. And since she barely talks to us, I felt like she looked down on us. I really didn't mean to steal, I just wanted to prove I could do it too. I was getting annoyed. Prove you could steal. The counselor cleared her throat. Song, let her finish. Shwemanli cried even more pitifully. I never thought it would blow up this big. Those posts, I just wanted to explain myself. I laughed, explain that I stole images, explain that I pretended to be poor, explain that I framed you for stealing the card. Shwemanli bit her lip. I was emotional at the time. I didn't think before I spoke. I pulled out my phone and opened the private messages she'd sent to the confession page. You submitted 3 separate posts, revising the draft 5 times. First version said I stole images. Second version added that I stole something from you. Third version added that I mooched off others. Your emotional state was pretty consistent. The counselor's face darkened completely. Shwemanli stopped crying. The office fell into a heavy silence. I put my phone back in my bag. Teacher, I only have 3 demands. First, the school handles this according to the rules. Second, the confession page makes a public clarification, keeping the original posts as evidence of the false rumors. Third, everyone who joined in the campus harassment and online bullying must give me a written apology. The counselor was silent for a few seconds, then nodded. Reasonable. Shwemanli jerked her head up. Teacher, the counselor looked at her, her voice ice cold. You're in no position to bargain right now. In the afternoon, Shwemanli's parents arrived. I saw them for the second time in the counselor's office. Shwe's mother wore a faded, washed-out coat, her hair a mess. The moment she entered, she reached for my hand. Song, please, Auntie begs you. I sidestepped, avoiding her. She missed, froze for a moment, then tears immediately streamed down her face. Please let my Lily go, she's only 18. She's still a child. That phrase sounded familiar. Behind every troublemaker, there always seems to be someone saying, she's still a child. I looked at Shwemanli. She sat in the corner, head down, shoulders heaving with sobs. Shwe's father stood nearby, his face full of exhaustion. He rubbed his hands together, his voice very low. Song, we know she did wrong. We really do. But over $1 million. Our family couldn't raise that even if we sold everything, Shwe's mother added, crying. We took a hard-seat train all night from our hometown to get here. Her dad drives a cab. His back is bad. I work the checkout at a supermarket, making just over $3,000 a month. It's not easy for us to put her through college. I listened quietly. Was it hard? Of course it was, but their hardship had nothing to do with me being bullied online. When Shwe's mother saw I wasn't reacting, she suddenly dropped to her knees. Auntie kneels to you. The counselor was startled and quickly tried to help her up. Parent, please get up first. Shwe's mother refused. She cried as she spoke. Song, your family is so rich. $1 million to you guys might just be the cost of 1 meal, but to a family like ours, it's a lifetime. Please, just take pity on us. I looked down at her. Auntie, when Shwemanli showed off the card my mother left me, she didn't take pity on me. When she got the whole school to curse me out, she didn't take pity on me. When I was cornered at the teaching building, my notes stomped on videos taken of me, she didn't take pity on me. Shwe's mother's crying faltered. I continued. I was raised by parents who loved me too. After my mother passed away, the lily of the valley on that card was specially engraved by my brother for me. Shwemanli stole it, took a photo, posted it on her Moments, saying she'd been too low-key for too long. Was she low-key? She took the thing I treasured most and traded it for someone calling her rich girl. Shwe's father's face flushed red. He turned to Shwemanli. You did something like that. Shwemanli shook her head, crying. Dad, I was wrong. I really was wrong. Shwe's father raised his hand and slapped her across the face. How could you steal someone's things? How could you bully a classmate like this? Shwemanli's head snapped to the side, her crying growing louder. The advisor quickly stepped in. Parent, please calm down. Shwe's mother also cried as she hugged her daughter. Stop hitting her. She knows she was wrong. I watched this family of 3 fall into chaos. I felt no satisfaction in my heart, but neither did I feel enough sympathy to let it go. People can't always wait until the consequences crash down to remember how hard their family has it. Shwe's father, his eyes red, turned around and bowed deeply to me. Classmate Song, I'm sorry. It's our fault for not teaching our child well. We'll find a way to repay the meal money. Even if we have to sell the house or borrow money, we'll accept it. But I beg you, please, don't let her go to jail." The office fell silent. Shwe Manli suddenly looked at me, her eyes full of pleading. I slowly spoke, "Uncle, I don't decide whether she goes to jail or not. The law does." She stole the card, made malicious purchases, spread rumors, and incited online harassment. The consequences are all right here. What I can do is hand over the evidence. Shwe's father's lips moved, but in the end, he didn't beg again. But Shwe's mother suddenly broke down. "How can you be so heartless? You could save her with just one word." I looked at her. "Auntie, your daughter could have stopped with just one word too." "She didn't." Shwe's mother froze. I picked up my bag, ready to leave when I reached the door. Shwe Manli suddenly lunged over and grabbed my leg. "Song Chimyen, I'm begging you. I'll apologize to you. I'll apologize in front of the whole school. I'll wash your clothes for you from now on, bring you your meals, be your servant. Can you get Yunting Yang to waive the bill, please?" I looked down at her. "You being my servant? I'd find it too noisy." Her face went completely pale. I pulled my leg free. "Shwe Manli, stop kneeling. Every tear you shed right now is for yourself. It has nothing to do with regret." The school handled it quickly. 3 days later, the college issued a situation report. Shwe Manli was expelled from school for stealing a classmate's belongings, maliciously using a membership card for high-value consumption, and posting false information on online platforms, causing severe negative impact. Chi Yusheng was removed from her position as class monitor and given a demerit. Tang Yu and several other students who participated in the offline encirclement, verbal abuse, and secretly filming videos received warnings or serious warnings. The confession wall issued a public apology, deleted the defamatory posts, and pinned a clarification for 3 days. The day the clarification post came out, the comments section was lively. "Finally got the report. Song Chimyen really got the short end of the stick. Her card was stolen, and she got blamed by the whole school. Shwe Manli's expulsion is no injustice. Good that the monitor was removed. Those who jumped on the bandwagon to curse her should learn their lesson too." Chi Yusheng sent a long message in the class group. "Song Chimyen, I'm sorry. As the class monitor, I didn't verify the facts and led the attacks against you in the group and on the confession wall. I also forced you to apologize with a toast to Shwe Manli at Yunting Yang. All of this was my fault. I'm not asking for your forgiveness, just formally apologizing to you." After she sent it, the class group was quiet for a long time. Then Tang Yu also sent a message. "I'm sorry, I was drunk at the time, but being drunk isn't an excuse. I cursed you, tried to grab your phone, and humiliated you at the dinner. I accept the school's punishment." Then came other classmates, one after another. "Song Chimyen, I'm sorry. I shared the post. I'm sorry. I cursed you back then just to get a free meal. I didn't know the truth and just followed the crowd. I'm sorry. I owe you an apology." I stared at the screen. My heart was very calm. The apologies came too late, but at least they came. I didn't reply. Xiaoji was restless in the dorm these past few days. She had hardly dared to talk to me. She had helped Shwe Manli make snide remarks before, but she hadn't participated in the confession wall or the dinner. The school didn't punish her, but she knew in her heart that she wasn't clean either. As I packed my things, she finally couldn't help but speak up. "Chimyen, I didn't turn around. What is it?" Xiaoji bit her lip. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said you stole the picture that day, and I shouldn't have taken Shwe Manli's side. I just thought she treated everyone to a meal, and she seemed more like someone with money. I was afraid of offending her. I folded my clothes into the suitcase, so you chose to offend me." Xiaoji's face went pale. I zipped the suitcase shut. "Xiaoji, you don't need to explain to me. You weighed your options, and so can I." Her voice trembled. "You're moving out, yeah. The advisor arranged a single dorm for me." Xiaoji lowered her head. "That's good." I picked up my suitcase. When I reached the door, she called out to me again. "Chimyen, I'm really sorry." I paused for a moment, but didn't turn around. "Received forgiveness? That's out of the question. I'm not a temple. I don't have that much incense karma to save all sentient beings." The night I moved into the single dormitory, my brother came to the school. He was carrying 2 big bags, one bag of snacks, one bag of daily necessities and a thermos full of soup. Aunt Chen made it. She said you definitely haven't been eating well these past few days. I sat in the chair, watching him pull out the items one by one. Bro, I'm not a kid. Song Jiu looked up. You're not even 19 yet. To me, you are, I corrected him. 18 and a half, even younger. I didn't bother arguing. He sat down across from me and asked, what are you planning to do next? I knew he was talking about Manli. Follow the procedure. The bill is over $1 million. Yunting Banquet is suing, and I'm suing for defamation of character. Song Jiu nodded. You'll need a lawyer to liaise with you. He looked at me for a moment, then suddenly said, Mien, you handled this very well. I was stunned. Song Jiu rarely complimented me so seriously. I lowered my head and poked at the radish in the soup. She stepped on Mom's lily of the valley, so I didn't want to back down at all. Song Jiu was silent for a few seconds. If Mom were here, she'd be on your side too. My nose stung. I quickly drank the soup. Don't cry, crying makes you ugly. Just then, my phone vibrated. It was a text message from an unfamiliar number. Song Chimien, I won't let you off. I stared at the line. Song Jiu took the phone, glanced at it, and his face turned cold. Manli. I nodded. Probably. Song Jiu directly forwarded the number to the lawyer and the police. Keep the evidence for the threats too. I laughed. She's already like this, and she's still threatening me. Song Jiu handed the phone back to me. Some people always think they're the victims and everyone else should get out of their way. I saved a screenshot of the text. The last bit of lingering irritation in my heart was gone. Fine, she won't let me off. Then I definitely won't let her off either. Half a month later, Manli was trending again on Weibo, not because of the Yunting Banquet this time, but because she opened a burner account to play the victim. She posted a long article with a pitiful title. I'm just a girl from an ordinary family, forced to drop out by my rich roommate. In the article, she portrayed herself as an ordinary girl who worked hard to get into university from a small county. She said my family was wealthy and I looked down on my roommates. She said I deliberately showed off my diamond card in the dorm without explaining the rules, tempting her to make a mistake. She said the Yunting Banquet bill was ridiculously high, but I just stood by coldly. She said her parents knelt down to beg me, and I was still unmoved. At the end of the article, she wrote, with just one word from a rich person, they can destroy an ordinary girl's life. The comment section was full of sympathy at first, crying, ordinary people really have it too hard, rich people are terrifying. Even if she was wrong, there's no need to go this far, right? A meal bill of over $1 million. This is obviously a setup. After I finished reading the long article, I almost laughed out loud. Manli really had skills. She had already dropped out, but she still found a stage for herself. Song Jiu called me. Saw it. How do you want to handle it? I asked back. Bro, is the Yunting Banquet surveillance footage edited yet? He laughed. It's been edited for a while. At 8 o'clock that night, the official Yunting Banquet account released a full statement. No playing the victim, no emotional manipulation, just a timeline, evidence, surveillance footage, and a detailed list of expenses. In the video, Manli's action of stealing the card was crystal clear. Her screenshots of showing off the diamond card on Moments were crystal clear. Her posts on the confession wall were crystal clear. The footage of her holding the card at the Yunting Banquet entrance, saying "Tonight's on me," was crystal clear. The video of the waiter repeatedly reminding her of the price was also crystal clear. Finally, the official statement only had one sentence. This establishment has legally defended its rights and will never tolerate card theft, dine and dashing, or malicious defamation. I also posted the first public video of my life in the shot. I didn't show my face. I only filmed the reissued diamond card. On the card's surface, a silver lily of the valley lay quietly under the light. I said, Manli, I gave you many chances to stop. When you stole the card, you could have returned it. When you posted online, you could have deleted it. Before you ordered at Yunting Banquet, you could have confessed. When you knelt down, you could have apologized sincerely, but every single time, you chose to keep hurting me. Now you say you're just an ordinary girl. Ordinary isn't a free pass. Being poor isn't an excuse for stealing or cyberbullying others. I accept that your family is struggling, but I won't pay for your malice. After the video was posted, public opinion completely flipped. Elder sister speaks well. Being ordinary is not a free pass. The evidence is too complete. Shwe Manli still dares to play the victim. Her parents are pitiful. But when she stole the card, why didn't she think of them? The victim has money, so they can't seek justice. What kind of bandit logic is that? Song Chimyen is so clear-headed this time. Shwe Manli's alt account was quickly dug up. She deleted posts, deactivated it, and played dead, but it was useless. The internet has a memory. Progress was also made on the court side. Yunting Ban was pursuing payment for the meal and losses. My defamation case was filed simultaneously. The lawyer told me that Shwe Manli's family ultimately chose to sell a small house in their hometown, borrowed some money, and first paid off most of the debt to Yunting Ban. For the remaining part, they signed a payment plan. As for her personally, due to theft, malicious use of a membership card causing high consumption, and adding online defamation and bullying, she would subsequently face corresponding legal consequences. The day I heard the result, I was in class. The teacher was explaining a case study. A sentence was displayed on the screen. An adult must pay the price for their choices. I lowered my head and smiled. Quite fitting. After class, Chi Yusheng was waiting for me at the classroom door. She had lost a lot of weight, wasn't wearing makeup, and held a letter in her hand. Song Chimyen. I stopped. She handed the letter over. This is a written apology. I already submitted the one the college required. This one I wrote myself. I didn't take it. Her hand froze in midair, and her eyes slowly turned red. I know you won't forgive me. I just want to tell you, I really regret it. I looked at her. Chi Yusheng, do you regret it because this incident affected your position as class monitor, your scholarship, and your party membership? Or because you truly realize that leading the charge to hurt someone is very despicable? Her face turned pale. After a long time, she said hoarsely, both. At least she was honest. I took the letter but didn't open it. Don't be a class officer anymore. She nodded. Yeah. I walked past her. When I reached the stairwell, Tang Yu was also standing there. He saw me, his face awkward. Sorry about that. I didn't stop. He hurriedly took a step after me. I really know I was wrong. I drank too much that day. My mouth was out of line. I turned back to look at him. Tang Yu, don't blame your lack of upbringing on alcohol. His face flushed red, and he didn't dare say another word. I walked out of the teaching building. The sunlight was a bit dazzling. My phone buzzed. Song Jiyu sent a message. Come home for dinner tonight. Aunt Chen made crab roe tofu. I replied, in class. He instantly responded, I'll have the driver wait for you. I thought for a moment. Park 2 streets away. Got it, low-key heiress. I laughed out loud. Actually, after all this, there were still people at school gossiping about me. Some said I was rich but pretended to be ordinary. Some said I was not to be trifled with. Some even started cautiously trying to curry favor with me. None of it bothered me much. I wore my canvas shoes, used my old laptop, and ate the 8 yuan spicy hot pot from the cafeteria. Occasionally, I went to Yunting Ban for a bowl of soup. I didn't need to prove to anyone that I had money, nor did I need to change my life because of others' speculations. As for Shwe Manli, later, I heard that after she left school, she came to the school gate to look for me once. The security guard didn't let her in. She stood at the gate and cried for a long time. Someone took a photo of her, and she even ducked her head to avoid the camera. How ironic. Back then, she loved having others take pictures of me. Now it was her turn, and she knew how embarrassing it was. I didn't go to see her. There was no need. Some people, once they reach this point, have nothing to do with me anymore. That evening, I went home. Aunt Chen had indeed made crab roe tofu. Song Jiu sat across the dining table, reviewing documents as he asked me, is the new dorm comfortable? It's okay. Need anything? No, enough living expenses. I looked up at him. Bro, I still have a lot of money in my card. Song Jiu calmly picked up some food. That's yours. What I give is mine. I was speechless. Like this, you're going to turn me into a spoiled brat? He chuckled lightly. Could a spoiled brat send a card-stealing roommate to court? I thought about it. True. After dinner, I went back to my room and opened my phone. There were new messages. In the class group, the new class monitor had posted a reminder about submitting the practice report next week. Below it, a row of received, No one mentioned Shwe Manli anymore, no one mentioned Yunting Ban anymore. After the commotion passed, life continued as usual. I opened my photo album. The video from that night at Yunting Ban was still saved there. Shwe Manli knelt on the ground, crying and begging me. I watched it for a moment, then pressed delete. The satisfaction had passed, the evidence had all been handed over to the lawyer. The rest, let the law take its slow, measured course. I turned off my phone and pulled open the curtains outside. The lights were flickering on, one by one. Suddenly, I remembered something my mom used to say, Mien Mien, don't be afraid of what others say about you. In this lifetime, people's mouths are on their own faces, but the road lies under your own feet. Back then, I always thought those words were too gentle. Now, I finally understand gentleness doesn't mean swallowing your pride in silence. The road lies under your own feet. If anyone dares to stick out their leg to trip me, I'll just stomp right back.